and it's down to 5 weeks left of the NRL 2021 regular season. So, yeah, we're only in the final weeks of the season now, and we're in round 21, so we've got some big games this week, I think. So, there's games I'm looking forward to. Like, for example, Roosters and Panthers will be absolutely huge. Manly Storm, my team against the Storm, or the Scum, if you want to call it that way. That's how I prefer it personally, but that's going to be a massive game, that one as well. And I think also another big game I'm looking forward to is Eels Rabbitohs. That's another interesting game if Eels can keep their spot in the top four and that. But look, let's get into my tips actually. So it starts the Knights and the Broncos Thursday night at Sunshine Coast Stadium. So ins and outs for the Knights. So Jalen Brayley and Tex Sawyer out. And Chris Randall, Jack Johns, Lachlan Fitzgibbon, Mitchell Pearce, and Stafford Toa are all the ins for this week. So that's good for them. And for the Broncos have Tony Staggs and Jake Turpin both out because of injury, and Albert Kelly, Anthony Milford, David Mead, Jesse Arthurs, and Xavier Coates all come in for the Broncos in the squads and in the team. Some of them. Look, in this game, I will go with the Knights. I think Knights will be a little bit too good for the Broncos now. I've been impressed with how the Broncos have been going, recently, but I feel like Knights will be a bit more desperate since they're in a good position to possibly get a top 8 finish. So I'll probably back them this one to win by 1 to 12 points, pretty much. Raiders Dragons, 6 p.m. at Seabus Super Stadium. It is Raiders Dragons, another game where it's very crucial for both sides. Ins and outs the Raiders. So Sebastian Chris is out, and making his debut off the bench is Elijah Anderson and Matt Frawley, Ryan Sutton, and Saliba Havili all coming in for the Raiders. For the Dragons, Jack Bird moves to fullback for some reason, and Zach Lomax comes in for the Dragons for his first game since round 8. And Jack DeBellin comes back at lock, and Ben Hunt's out with Jared Beale, Josh Kerr, Tyro Fuimayano, and Tyrell Sloan all out for the Dragons. Look, in this game, I think Raiders will win. I personally think Raiders have got a better looking team than what the Dragons do, and I feel like Raiders are in more of a better position than what Dragons are. I think Dragons are really fading at the moment. Now, I like Dragons as a team, but I think they are really fading, unfortunately for them, and I think Canberra, they've got a much better, I think Canberra have got it more going for them heading to Friday night, let's just put it that way. So, I'll back Canberra to win 1 to 12 as well, probably. Now the main game on Friday night at Seabus Super Stadium as well, so double header. It's the Eels and the Rabbitohs. So the ins and outs for the Eels. So looks like Regan Campbell-Gillard's out for 6 to 8 weeks of injury, and Bryce Cartwright, Makahisi Makatoa, Marata Niokore, and Mitchell Moses back in the team as well. So that's the ins for the Eels there. For the Rabbitohs, Benji Marshall, Cameron Murray, and Tavia Totola all return for the team in the 17. So that's good for Souths, all back in for them. In this game, I'm going to tip Souths. I think Souths are in really good form. I reckon the Rabbitohs will probably beat the Eels by a fair score, in my opinion. Now, I hope so as a Manly fan, because just in case Manly win on Saturday, we can go to top 4 because of 4 and against if Eels lose and we win. But anyway, I do tip Souths, and I think they'll win 26 points to 18, or 1 to 12, I should say. Now, Super Saturday kicks off between the Warriors and the Sharks at Suncorp Stadium. So, ins and outs of the Warriors. So, Ben and Merck Masilla's out because of an injury, and Pryor Patterson, Rabati, and Tanya Otukolo are all out for the Warriors. And ins are Adam Fanua Blake, Chanel Harris DeVita, Edward Cossie, Jack Murchie, Josh Curran, and Matthew Lodge are all in for the Warriors. So that's some big ins there. For the Sharks, Matt Boylan's been named in reserves, and Janaya Lua and Jesse Raymond have all come in the team as well. Well, Jesse Raymond's back in the starting team, and Janaya Lua is back in the reserves. This game, I probably trust the Sharks a bit more, to be honest. I mean, I was very impressed with how the Warriors went against the Tigers on Saturday, last Friday, like how Warriors went, but I'll probably tip the Sharks, be a bit safe. I think Sharks have got a bit more in them than the Warriors, in my opinion, so I'll back the Sharks to win of a scoreline of 30 points to 18, 1 to 12, whatever. Now, second last game of Super Saturday, it's the Roosters and the Panthers, so an absolute blockbuster we've got here. Ins and outs for the Roosters. So Dale Copley, the new recruit for the Roosters, effective immediately, comes in the team and starts on the wing. And Josh Morris is out Josh Morris is also out because of injury, I believe. and Ben Marshke, Mawala, Graham, Tafua, and Nahafahu White have all come in the reserves. And for the Panthers, there's some big changes to the Panthers. So looks like Tavita Pangai Jr. will make his club debut for the Panthers off the bench. And Nathan Cleary's been named in reserves, and I reckon he will play, but we'll see. And Stephen Crichton and Robert Jenks both out for the Panthers this week. And Api Korosia is back for the Panthers at hooker. And also looks like Isaiah Yeo is also returning to the team. That's good for the Panthers. Look, in this game, I wouldn't be surprised if the Roosters win, because I think the Roosters still have a decent team on paper, but just because I think Nathan Cleary will probably play, and I think Coruscant and Isaiah big ins for that side, for the Panthers especially, I think they'll be a bit too good for the Roosters, probably win by about 4 points, I'd reckon, so I reckon 1-12, but it could go down to the wire, like, and go on points for the game, but I wouldn't be surprised. Now, the blockbuster game between the Seagulls and the Storm against Benny Carr Sports' little scum team, the Storm. So, what a game this will be. I think this will be a fantastic game of the round, I reckon. So, ins and outs to the Seagulls. So, there's only one this week. Curtis Sirinen drops out because of Josh Alawai being back for the Seagulls from suspension. So, that's the only change there. And for the Storm, Melbourne Scum, I should say, Fliz Kafusi drops out because of suspension, dumb cunt. And Nico Hines remains a fullback, and fuck the rest, honestly. But look, in this game, I'm tipping Manly to win. I reckon Manly will get the win. I think we'll win 17-16. Cherry Evans field goal and go on point. I reckon around the 83rd minute of the game, Cherry Evans will get a left foot field goal, and Manly will win the game. So stick that one up you ass, Benny Carr Sports, you dumb cunt. So Storm 13 plus. We'll see on Saturday, dumb fuck. Beanie Car Sports. Sorry, guys, I have to say that because that's just one of the worst Melbourne Storm fans I've probably ever seen. But again, they're all pretty bad. Anyway, Sunday footy, Bulldogs and the Tigers at Moreton Daily Stadium in Redcliffe. So the ins and outs for the Bulldogs. So it looks like Jane Ockaball, Renner for Tony, both been dropped, I believe, by the Bulldogs. And coming in is Ava Samanu Fagai, Jackson DePine, Joe Stimson, Sione Katoa, and Tui Pilotu Katoa all come in the reserves in the team as well. And for the West Tigers, Dane Laurie's out, getting replaced by Mo Zemba at fullback. And Jake Simpkin, James Tarmo, Jock Madden, and Thomas McCulley are all the ins for the Tigers. In this game, I reckon Bulldogs will win the game, actually. I mean, I know it's a bit of a risky tip, but I reckon the Bulldogs will get the win in the end, so I'll probably back them to win probably 1-12, but, I think it'll be a high-scoring game as well, because both teams obviously can't defend, but both teams can probably score because both teams can't defend, so it makes sense, doesn't it? And now the last game to end off round 21, it's the Titans and the Cowboys at Seabus Super Stadium up in the Gold Coast, so ins and outs for the Titans. So it looks like Tyrone Peach is out because of suspension, and Anthony Don, Aaron Clark, Jamal Fogarty, and Patrick Herbert all come in for the Titans. And for the Cowboys, big in is Valentine Holmes back for the Cowboys, starting at fullback. That's huge. And also Peter Holler, Lachlan Burr, and Ben Condon all come in reserves. And Kane Bradley's out. So, look, in this game, and Ben Hampton starts to the centres, interestingly. In this game, I reckon the Titans will win. I know, Nick from Australia won't like this tip. Sorry, but I think Titans will win. I think they're in much better form than the Cowboys, and I think they'll be a bit too strong. But I wouldn't be shocked if I get this wrong. But Titans will win, in my opinion, 20 points to 10, so 1-12. Guys, that's my tips for round 21. Make sure you do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in another video.